my review of Arrow, episode 10, Blood Debts. Now, in this week's episode of Arrow, what we find out is that Felicity isn't dead, much to our chagrin. Also, Lonnie Machen, Anarchy, he's not dead either. And he comes back in a big way in this episode. Also, in this episode, the brotherly bond between Diggle and Andrew, his brother, gets worse. To a point where he grabs him and then throws him at the cage and just pounds on him and pounds on him. By the end of the episode, though, they're playing cards. So, family. In this week's episode, Oliver starts to give into that darkness again. We start to see more of that. Going from ghost to ghost to ghost to ghost. Trying to find out where Damian Dark is. And as the episode progresses, he won't go and see Felicity. Because he wants to get Damian Dark and take him down. And because of all this craziness that Damian Dark has created, it throws Oliver off his game, and he's got to question himself at a certain point. And then he puts this tracker on Anarchy, thinking that he's going to lead him to Damian Dark. And he doesn't. So Oliver's brain is all over the place. Can't focus. He's just so worried about just taking him down that he's not allowed to focus. So the real issue in this episode is Oliver dealing with the fact that in order to fight Damian Dark, he's got to stay in the light. But it's not easy to do when you've got your friends and your family and the people you care about either dying or being wounded or put in hospitals or whatever. So, and another thing about Anarchy, I think, has become like this pseudo Joker prototype. And every hero seems to have one of those. You know, Batman's got the Joker. Superman has Toy Maker. Goku has Frieza. Everyone seems to have one of these maniacal people in their life. One of these maniacal, like, insane enemies. So, the big fight comes down to it. Damian Dark's there. Anarchy's there. Everyone's there. And Anarchy ends up taking his family. Taking Damian Dark's family. Now, before all this happens, they get a hold of Anarchy. And they got him all tied up. And Thea, throughout this whole episode, she's still dealing with that bloodlust. Still dealing with not wanting to give in to that. And it hasn't affected her so much after Damian Dark touched her. But in this episode, Anarchy's really starting to bring that out of her. And she's got to fight this urge. And Laurel calls the police. What is that? Takes him away, and then they got to get him back, only to release him again. And then at the end of the episode, Anarchy's got Damian Dark's family there. And so the Arrow team goes in there, gets Damian Dark's family out of there, which if it was me, I would have either killed his family right then and there, or I would have took him hostage. Because then you could use them as leverage later on. But now, Oliver's lost all of his leverage because he let Damian Dark's family just go. And the fight between Damian Dark and Arrow at the end of the episode was phenomenal. The Arrow's coming at him and he's whatever. And he tells him he's going to kill him, you know. So, now looking at next week's episode, okay, you got a preview for next week's episode. And it looks to me that this shadow spider is really going to put a hindrance on the team, really going to push Felicity out of the loop, because when she comes out of the hospital, she's to a point where she's so frazzled, she's so disoriented by all this, that's what's going to make her not want to be a part of Team Arrow. But she's a vital part because all the teching and all the hacking and the computer analyzing stuff, like, that's her specialty. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes next week. I give the overall episode a 10. Like I said, one of my favorite episodes of the season because we get to see Oliver getting back to kicking ass, taking names, taking the fight to Damien Dark, taking the fight to Anarchy, and you really see him overcoming all that, and I just absolutely love the episode. One of the reasons why Arrow's my favorite show. So, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Spike Von Shadow. I'll see you next time.